Hey guys, what's up? It's Luckett, and I know I promised that the next video would be an animation video, but I was having some technical difficulties and I didn't want to wait so long to be putting out a new video. So today we are drawing different streaming services as cute girls. And since we are here on youtube.com, we're going to start with YouTube Premium. Let's go. So starting off with YouTube Premium or YouTube TV, whatever you want to call it. So all I ever hear people talk about with YouTube Premium and YouTube TV is that all the ads are annoying. The ads come up often and they're like, are you sure? You sure you don't want YouTube Premium? They're practically begging you to get their product. So I decided that I would make YouTube like this preppy sort of like, not squirrel girl, I guess, but like just kind of like this preppy girl. And she is out begging. She's out begging for money because she doesn't want to get a job. Although she clearly does not need the money because, you know, YouTube begs so much for you to buy the premium service or whatever, but like it's YouTube. They are by no means struggling. They're absolutely fine. And actually, I didn't know this, but people do that. People who have like homes and stuff, rather than get a job, they just choose to beg. Not all beggars, of course, but like some people just choose to be beggars. And it's kind of scummy if you ask me. And well, I suppose I shouldn't call YouTube scummy because it's my platform and I want to be monetized eventually. But that's the way I've chosen to draw her today. I really like it's exactly how I wanted it to come out. The sort of like the little look on her face. I try to make all the girls try to look like they're in similar art styles or really the same art style, so that once I put them all together in the end, they will not look weird standing next to each other. And I strayed from that a little bit by mistake. So as you can see, like she's got like her pockets full of money and like glittering jewels and stuff, but she's only got on like this one crusty jacket. I've got like this visual image in my head of her like in her very like preppy little cute outfit, like just digging through the trash and finding like one gross jacket and sticking it on, and then her being like, oh, this is perfect now nobody can tell. And she's got like some like mud rubbed like on her face, like on just a perfect little spot on her cheeks. I was gonna put some in her hair too, but I was like, no way, Becky wouldn't put it in her hair. I mean, not that her name is Becky. I can never think of names to name these characters. I don't want to just name her like YouTube or whatever. Now we start the coloring process. I think of all the drawings I've done for this video, her coloring was my favorite. I really liked the red skirt. I also noticed while I was drawing her that oftentimes I will just draw characters in the things that I like to wear. So a lot of my characters are in those tall socks and in pleated skirts and stuff like that. So I'm gonna try to move away from that for the next two drawings, just because I do want to shake it up a little bit. I don't want everything to look exactly the same, and I want to try to push myself. That's part of the fun of these challenges. It was not on purpose, but the black like crusty suit that I put her in, or jacket that I put her in, it kind of looks like a business suit, so it kind of doubles and works well for YouTube, because you know YouTube is all, well, like the people that are on YouTube, you know, they're youthful and supposed to be bubbly and stuff, and she does look like she could have like some cute little like lifestyle channel or something. You watch her channel, then suddenly you feel bad about like how undecorated your room is or something like that. But then also she looks kind of businessy with the jacket. And in fact, as I go on with the coloring process, she looks a little too businessy with the jacket, which I realize is because you can't see like the little dirt splotches on it anymore after I color it in. So you can't see it. I didn't record it, but when you see the final image, you'll see that I actually went back and like smudged like this reddish brown color on there, so that it looks more like a crusty jacket instead of a business jacket. Also, if you saw at the beginning, I had this picture of a girl in a blue sweatshirt with brown hair, and that's because I wanted to emulate that coloring style. Like I say often, I'm always trying to improve my coloring, my shadows and stuff like that, and I think I've gotten better at it. Doing these videos actually forces me to draw more often, so I've really updated some of my coloring process, and I just wanted to try to make sure I use that like sort of similar mix of cell shading and soft shading. That was really hard to say without stuttering. Anyways, this drawing is about done. Tell me what you think about her in the comments below, and I don't have a name for her other than Becky, so let me know what you think about Becky, and we'll move on to the next one. So this next one that I'm drawing is Amazon Prime or Prime Video. Amazon Prime is a very different sort of streaming service because, Amazon's whole thing is sort of that they have everything, they specialize in everything, they kind of do everything. And perhaps part of the appeal of Amazon is quantity over quality, and you sort of judge the quality for yourself. Like, it's very weird to me that there's so many like scams on Amazon. Like, there's just so many of them. And they kind of have the same approach for their streaming service. It's quantity over quality. You can see that I was struggling with the arm because I couldn't get the position right. And I finally gave in. I used a reference because you're supposed to use reference anyways. Reference is good for you. And you're going to see me later use reference for a shoe, which is a bit unfortunate actually, because I forgot for the YouTube girl that I just drew, I gave her like tiny little chibi feet with these little tiny shoes, but then this Amazon Prime girl has got like very realistic Vans, so maybe that's a bit of a failure. But Amazon Prime itself is very weird. Actually, if you watch Saber Sparks and his movie reviews, you'll recognize the titles that I drew on her, like the movies that she has in her inside coat. It's Misty Green Sky, Cartoon Horrors 2, and Velocipaster. I actually haven't seen a review for Velocipaster because I refuse to buy Prime because I'm poor. But I just know that Amazon's got some weird movies on it. I've seen the Saber Spark reviews of some of the weird ones. You should go watch it if you haven't. Not that Saber needs any plugging from me. So the idea for her, if you can't tell, is that she can get you movies. She just can't guarantee where they came from, who made them, that sort of thing. It's all sort of a little shady because some of these movies are really just low quality, for being honest. Like, it's so weird that they're behind a paywall. Like, I use the term animation loosely because I sort of just have pictures that happen to change like every once in a while. But yeah, Amazon is something else. They're definitely taking their quantity over quality approach. I hope I'm not ripping too much on Amazon. Like, it's still a good service, and there are still good movies on Prime, I'm sure. But like Misty Green Sky, Cartoon Horrors 2, I don't know. They're not even the kind that you can watch that are so like good that they're bad, or bad that they're good, or whatever. They're just bad. Except for the Velocipaster. I think that one might actually be enjoyable. Velocipaster? Who came up with that? A genius, clearly. I also know that like Prime, I remember when Amazon did this for some reason, they like want to move away from the color green for some reason. I remember Amazon used to be green, which makes sense because it's Amazon, like the forest, but now they're blue. And I initially was only going to include the blue in her like color palette, but honestly it just wasn't enough colors to work with, and rather than just try to make different shades and values of that same blue, I just decided to throw in a little bit of green, especially since one of the titles of the books was Misty Green Sky. So I just put in a tiny bit of green in there. Maybe like she hasn't finished like peddling all of her older stuff, and all of her older stuff still has the green logo. I also decided to color the line art for this one. It feels like in every video I've got at least one drawing that requires colored line art, and in this one it's because she's very blue, but her skin obviously is a peachy color, and orange and blue are what are those things called when colors don't like each other? Contrasting colors? I think that's what it's called. They're wait, what is it called? Complementary colors? Wait, they're called complementary colors? But they don't complement each other, they clash. Anyways, the line art looked too weird. If I made it suit her skin, it didn't suit the blue parts of the image, and if I made it suit the blue parts of the image, it didn't suit her skin. So instead I just changed up the color of the line art. Now that I look at it, something about her face in the inking phase I think became a little off. Her mouth isn't quite in the right position, but I don't really mind. These drawings don't have to be perfect. And overall, I do like the look on her face. I'm pretty bad about the or at least I thought I would struggle with the like only showing one eye. I thought it would just look weird, like she just looked like some weird cyclops, like where is her other eye? But I think I pulled it off pretty well, especially when you'll see the shadow in a little bit. That part was fun. Again, I really enjoyed the shadows on this image, and at first like I was having a lot of trouble with where to put the colors and how to get them balanced and balancing the shadows as well. I also didn't flip the canvas for any of these images, so maybe they look a little weird, but I always forget to flip the canvas until I'm like halfway into the coloring stage, and at that point I don't want to know if it's bad. I don't want to know, so I didn't flip it. And here I'm doing the shading again with the hard cell shading, but the like the softer like for the highlights. I don't know, I just kind of like that. I like the contrast of it, I guess. And here you didn't see me do this in the other one, but here I am making a little background for the character to stand behind. Here is Prime Video. She will sell you videos at a low price. Just don't ask her where she got them from. Alrighty, so the last girl is Netflix, and I'm already starting by accidentally putting her in a slightly different art style than the other girls. If you look at the difference between her eyes and Prime's eyes, as you'll see in a bit, I just changed our style a wee bit, but that's okay. I still think they look all very cute. You can see that I put in her hand the remote. It's got a little crown on the top, but I actually changed that in the inking stage. Instead, I just have it be a remote that says like Crown Media or something like that, so it's not quite so on the nose, because I feel like out of all the streaming services, Netflix is the best. At least it's the best in terms of the function of the site. The company itself, well, there was the whole Cuties movie, so we don't really stand Netflix. But in terms of like being the best streaming service, I suppose, like functionally, Netflix is the most popular is what I'm getting at. So I drew her as like this cute, like cozy looking girl who is trying to pick snacks, because one of the things that everybody knows about Netflix is that you can't, like, if there's so many options, you can't really choose. It's hard to choose. So I figured I'd give her a bunch of snack options, and she's having trouble choosing. And like I said, she's got the remote because she is the top streaming service right now, one of the most popular, I feel. Seems like everybody's got a Netflix, and I was trying to figure out how to make it look like she was like the queen, you know, the current ruler of all the streaming services. And I thought about putting like a little Burger King crown on her head or something, like, you know, like a little cheap cardboard crown. But I like the idea of top streaming service gets the remote or whatever. They get to choose what's on right now. Although I suppose for a lot of streaming services, you don't watch them on TVs. Watch them on like your phone or your laptop, whatever. I think it still came across with the exact language that I wanted. But like the snacks that I surrounded her with, I just kind of picked anything that worked. The only thing that bothers me a little bit is the ice cream, because if you're going to spend a bunch of time trying to pick what to eat, you should probably eat the ice cream first because it's going to melt. I don't normally do like a ton of like scenery stuff or like props with my drawings. Sometimes it feels a bit like cheating. It makes it seem like, I don't know, like that I'm not designing the character. I'm supposed to be designing a character, not a scene. But I think they work really well with her, and I'm kind of proud of myself for pushing myself a wee bit out of my comfort zone by trying to add little things like that. And I think it adds to her character in a very cute way. I don't know, the idea of Netflix not being able to choose a snack. Maybe, would it be wrong to put it? No, we're trying to be positive, so nah, it's best that I don't reference Cuties. I guess it is a little weird for me to be critical of Netflix while also drawing it as a cute girl. I don't know. For whatever reason, this one took more time. Maybe it's because I drew some snacks around her, but this one is just slightly a little quicker than the other videos, so that it's not like longer than 5 minutes. Each clip I try to keep between 5 to 6 minutes long. So yeah, I guess it ended up having to be a little speedier, but I like it. And I also really like adding this hatch shading. I don't know if I did it in my last video, but I've started doing this with the shadows. I think I did in the last video, and I really like it. To me, it makes things look more intricate. I don't know, I just like it. As for like the color palette with Netflix, there's not really a whole lot to work with. So like with YouTube, I got to work with like black, red, and white, and then for Prime, I had like gray, green, and blue, but Netflix is just black and red. And if you've watched some of my older videos, you know that I don't like dealing in very absolute colors. The only time I deal in absolute colors is for the thumbnail. But I took the black and I bumped it up just a little bit, so technically it's a very dark brown. And even though there's not any blue in the Netflix logo, it just looks too boring to have her eyes be either red or brown, even if I made like a lighter version of the brown. So I just made them blue, and I don't know. I guess it doesn't make a ton of sense for her to have like really dark skin and really blue eyes because there's not even really a race that looks like that. But we can just say she's a Netflix character. You know, Netflix characters are like in like Netflix originals. They're all really pretty for no reason. You have like a 30-year-old actor playing like an 18-year-old high schooler or something like that. So we can just say that for her. For some reason, her skin also just seemed to be coming across as really flat. It is kind of hard when you're drawing darker skin tones. I like drawing all different kinds of skin tones, but in real life, usually people with darker skin, you can't see them blush, but I'm still totally gonna draw blush. So I didn't want to overdo it, but I also didn't want it to look flat, but I think it still came out a little flat. Out of all of the drawings, I think this one, like as far as like shading and coloring, was kind of my least favorite. I didn't even really do the soft highlights like I did on the other two, but I do really like her pose and all the snacks around her. They were fun to color in, and I did go back and add some shadows to make it look even, I don't know, deeper. What's the word? Better. It looks better. It looks less 2D, less flat. Yeah, I really like her. I think she's really cute. And what snack do you think she's gonna choose? I hadn't even stopped to consider that. And I do think she's currently winning the stream wars. So I don't know, we'll see. Like, I thought about drawing some other girls, maybe like Hulu or something like that, but I haven't used those services, nor do I plan on it because I don't have money. I'll just keep watching YouTube. Anyways, yeah, so here is my Netflix girl, and let's take a look at them all together. Ta-da! Here are the girls all together. Maybe they're getting together for a movie night or something. Oh, and while I was rewatching the footage for all of my speed draws, I actually thought of names for the girls this time. The YouTube girl would be Susie, because, you know, the CEO of YouTube is named Susan, and I thought Susie sounded a little cuter. The Amazon Prime girl would be named Alex, because it's super close to Alexa without quite being Alexa. And just for the sake of going with that theme, the Netflix girl would be Natalia, like Natalia with a E. But maybe everyone would always call her Natalia with an A, and maybe that could be her thing. She'd get upset about that. So anyways, here are the girls. And thank you so much for watching and for sticking around. I know that I said the next one was going to be a animation, but like I said, I was having some technical issues, and I didn't want to go so long without giving you guys a video. So hopefully my next one will be that animation video, and it is still currently in the works. If you don't follow me on my social medias, you totally should. You can follow me on Instagram at __Lockette if you want to see more of my art, and on Twitter at LocketteYT. Again, thank you so much for watching. I love posting videos so much, and until next time, lock out. So I sometimes stick these little memes and jokes at the end of my videos, and I think they're funny, but like, how many people are actually sticking around to the very end? Comment down below if you saw this little part of the video, and it'll be our little inside secret. And if after a while I don't see a single comment, maybe I'll start adding these little jokes at the end. Maybe not. Comment the word potatoes if you got it to this part of the video, and you'll be part of Potato Gang. All right, bye guys.